Well, Neely, I'm with you on language. I've had problems with the title, Decisionally Compromised. Is there anyone in this room who's not decisionally compromised in love and life? So add to that, as the co-PI for the Alzheimer's PCPRN, which is the Patient Caregiver Powered Research Network, I've been asked to combine that notion with the caregiver, which makes my charge much broader than Alzheimer's and dementia, which is a fatal neurodegenerative disease. There is no cure or no disease-modifying therapy. So let me just say again in terms of language, in our collective effort to be inclusive, please avoid soft titles. They don't do justice to the cruelty of any of the diseases represented here and only add to public confusion. The diseases are confusing enough. So trust requires truth in labeling. Let me advance. Oh, big green one at the bottom. I can do that. There. The unspoken trust between the patient. No one deserves to be forgotten in life because their disease is without hope. And that's why we're here, and that's why we fight. Our loved ones' quality and their dignity really depend on us. I have spent 20 years trying to understand my husband's wishes and desires. That picture is important because he could crush my wrist in a moment if I had moved the wrong way. That is the dynamic intention between patients and caregivers in relationships where cognition is impaired. So let's get personal. Whom would you trust in that role to be your caregiver? Many people come up to me and they say they're afraid to ask their spouse, their parents are afraid to ask them. Let's think about the duality and the trust that's asked. Let me tell you, there is no caregiver I know that would be preemptive of a patient's opportunity to speak or their independence. It is their last hurrah. And the caregiver is silenced during a very critical period. A dementia patient does not know what he or she doesn't know. So safety is a judgment call. And caregivers have now been put into a position where we are constantly challenged about taking care away from the rights of patients. If we are suspect, then do passive tracking, use the new technologies. If the nuance is fine, nobody wants our opinion. And to the research community, informed, you want us as an informant? Excuse me, I am a wife, I am a daughter, I am a friend, I am a significant other. Don't insult me, and don't call me a study partner. Again, language, Neely. The idea that you call me a study partner when the questions say quite something else, please don't insult us anymore. We really need to think of that. Now, I have an opportunity. Pick one of the things that annoys you most in this. All right, you just pick it. The one that bothers me most are the two about the diagnosis, not concerned about the value of giving somebody a diagnosis. Maybe they don't want to know. Trust is the end of paternalism in medicine. Don't call it for me. Don't call it for me. We need to have that information. Let us know. Families are lost in this process, especially in these diseases. Now, I insist that caregivers count. Does anybody agree with me? Diseases are now taking not just the patient, but the caregiver. In our space, caregivers are 6 times more likely to get dementia ourselves due to the intensity of care over years. I say this is true from autism and Downs. All these diseases are lifetime engagements. You hope for others, but it's a lifetime engagement. Because of the nature of our disease and what is unique to the ADPCRN, it is the first time the caregiver is a principal, along with the patient. We are tracking the caregiver to see where we get sick in the disease progression. Now, I'm about to launch a next round of this study. I offer it to every PCORI disease state for their caregivers. Wouldn't you like to know to get information back for you? Wouldn't you like a virtual intervention for depression? And oh, by the way, when that study is over and you get immediate feedback, it's a new mirror for you because you don't know who you are anymore. At the end of it, if you need help with depression, we're going to stay with you. We're not going to let you drop off a cliff. So that's the future of engagement, and here's a unique opportunity at a crippling disease, but here we are, we're here to help. Thank you.